Hey everybody, Stephen Young here with Boomer Fitness, and in this video we're going to talk about some more essential tips for weight loss, specifically for men beyond the age of 50 or beyond the age of 40. My good friend and the owner of Boomer Fitness, Brian Stecker, likes to stress that we focus on three major categories when we're trying to set ourselves up for success in the long term. And I think this is a great foundation for building a good, successful game plan that's going to work. And those three categories are exercise, nutrition, and our mindset. So we don't want to be lacking in any one of those categories. We need to make sure that all three of those are addressed. So, if we say that we have the perfect diet, and then we have the perfect exercise plan, and we've done all the science and all the research, and we know we eat the right things and do the right exercise, but maybe there's that little bit of motivation that's missing, or we're just not feeling confident, or maybe we don't have any accountability, and so if our mindset isn't quite there, and if we're not feeling motivated, then that can be enough to set us up for failure, even if our exercise and nutrition are addressed. Likewise, maybe we have a really good inner drive and motivation, and we're feeling fired up, and we have a great exercise plan lined up for us. We have all the perfect strength training exercises. We're doing all our cardio, and we've done the research on what exercise works, but our diet isn't quite there. We're not eating the right things. We're eating a bunch of crappy foods. Then we all know that a poor diet is not going to be a way to be successful with weight loss. You cannot out-exercise eating sugary foods all the time. So one piece is missing. It's enough to knock us down, even if the other two are there. And then, in the last situation, maybe we have a great diet and we're feeling very motivated, our mindset's there, but, we're not exercising, we're sitting on the couch all day. Of course, we need that physical activity component. So, as you can see, all three components are very important, so we want to kind of focus on those three as the foundation for success in the long term. So, let's kind of dive into each one at a time, and let's kind of get into some details, starting with the mindset. So, we need to adjust our mindsets. We need to accept the fact that this is going to be a lifestyle change. We're in this for the long run. We want to be successful, not just in, attaining a 1 month goal, but once we get past that 1 month, how can we set ourselves up to succeed beyond that? Maybe succeeding over the course of 6 months, a year. Then maybe we reached our weight loss goal. Maybe it took us a year, 2 years, but we need to make sure that we have this as a lifestyle change. That way we're not just going to put the weight back on. We need to be able to succeed in the long term. So we need to have the mindset that this is a lifestyle change and that it's not going to happen overnight. Sustainability is the key. We need to be consistent. And that comes down, consistency is the key even in the short term. Because if we're not able to maintain what we're doing, maybe we come in fired up with a great plan, a really aggressive plan, working out 7 days a week, and we get burnt out. Even if you have a plan that's more exhaustive and involves you seeing faster results, it's not going to compare to a plan that you're able to sustain for a longer period of time, because you're going to see a lot more results if you can keep it up, and also you'll be able to keep the weight off. Sustainability is absolutely essential. Even if you're doing a whole lot of work and you're losing 2 to 3 pounds a week, but you can only maintain that for a month or 2 or 3, then you're still not going to see nearly as much results as somebody who loses just 1 or 2 pounds a week but maintains it for a year or 2. So we need to be consistent, absolutely. And how can we help ourselves be more consistent? What are some strategies that we can use? Well, we can set realistic goals for ourselves. Losing 1 to 2 pounds a week as opposed to trying to make it, 10 pounds a week, which is just absolutely not realistic. And also, in addition to those goals related to weight loss, sometimes a really nice strategy you can use is setting up goals that are not necessarily just related to what's happening on the scale. What are some other goals we can use to kind of help supplement us along the way to keep our mind maybe off the numbers and just kind of keep us pushing through? A really good question I like to ask, especially with our aging population, people beyond the age of 40, which this video is kind of focusing on. One thing we want to focus on is, what do you want to do with your body? These people, we all want to look better, of course, but it's also important to, think about what we want to get out of life. Do we want to, go on that hike? Do we want to be able to walk our dog without worrying about him pulling us over and, knocking us over? Do we want to, be able to keep up with our grandkids in a little, pickup game of soccer or whatever it is? try to set goals that are related to what you actually want to do with your body. So these are going to help keep our mindset sharp, keep us motivated, because we all want to be able to do things with our body and do things in life. So that's just one of the many strategies we can use to keep our mindset sharp. And then another last one we can do to keep ourselves motivated and keep ourselves feeling confident in what we're doing is to just seek more knowledge. Keep learning more. The more you know about health and fitness, the more that you can, keep setting new goals for yourself. Somebody who's, taught themselves about more different exercises, how to squat, how to lunge, then you can start setting little minor goals like, okay, now I can do good squats and lunges. Now I want to set the goal to be able to increase my reps. I want to be able to maybe, lunge and add a little bit of weight to it. And also, seeking help when you need it is important too. Sometimes in order to keep our mindset sharp, we also need to have accountability, and maybe we can get outside knowledge from people that need it. So, hiring the help that you need, or maybe just getting advice from people who are well versed in these areas can be a really helpful tool to keeping our mindset where it needs to be. So let's leave that mindset alone and move on to the next category, which is nutrition. So of course, we all know nutrition is important. A lot of people will say nutrition is like 80% of the battle, and I think mindset and exercise and being physically active are probably account for more than 20%. But I would agree, nutrition is absolutely vital. If we all know that calories in and calories out is kind of the equation as far as whether or not we're actually going to succeed. We need to create a calorie deficit of about 500 to 1,000 calories a day in order to actually see that weight loss happen. So, in order to see that 1 to 2 pounds a week of weight loss happen. So, how is our nutrition intake? Well, first of all, we do need to focus on the calories. That's kind of like the basis of losing the weight. So, finding your BMR, your base metabolic rate, that's how many calories your body will typically burn, kind of in the absence of all the extra exercise and activity that you're going to be doing. That's going to be a nice kind of foundation for figuring out how many calories you need to consume in a day and then creating that deficit. There's plenty of BMR calculators that you can find online. You can just Google BMR calculator, and you can enter in things such as your weight and height and things like that, and it'll tell you roughly how many calories would be a good starting point. But then you just want to kind of experiment a little bit, because it's going to be a ballpark estimate. So maybe the BMR will tell you that you should start by eating about 1,500 calories in a week, 1,500 calories a day. Maybe you could try to sustain that for a week or so and see what the response is of your body, and just kind of use that as a starting point. So BMR is a really nice place to get started. Now, we need to also talk about nutrition as well, because usually when we're trying to lose weight, we're on a restricted calorie diet, and so we're taking in less overall volume of food. So we really need to focus on taking in nutrient-dense foods that are actually full of vitamins and minerals, fiber, fruits and vegetables, whole grains, foods that are rich in protein, and things like that too. Because if we're cutting our food down, our total amount of food we're taking in, because we're trying to lose weight and create a calorie deficit, but if we're also eating crappy foods, then we're just really getting nothing that's really going to help our bodies. So kind of focus on eating nutrient-dense foods, and that's going to make us feel better. And if you feel like crap all the time, that's going to take away from your mindset, and then everything is going to just fall apart. So we need to eat healthy foods. And going back to mindset again, maybe a good approach to take is to just focus on taking small steps. Everything's not going to be perfect at once, but if we can just little by little make improvements in our diet, then before you know it, if you just make one small change a week, before you know it, 1 month passes, you made 4 big improvements to your diet. 2 months pass, and before you know it, everything's going to change in a positive way. So try to focus not so much on what you're taking away. Don't focus right away on, I can't have this, I can't have that. Let's try to focus on what you can bring into your diet that's going to be better. So focus on adding in the healthy foods and eating good nutrient-dense foods, high in fiber, high in protein. They're going to help you stay full. And that'll actually, limit the junk food you're going to take in, because you're going to be feeling more full on those. So sometimes just thinking about it in a different way can really help you out. So try to focus on what you're adding in a positive way rather than what you're taking away. So small steps, one thing at a time. So moving on from nutrition, the last part we'll talk about is physical activity. Of course, we want to add in some exercise because we need to keep try to add to that calorie deficit, 500 calories to 1,000 calories per week. So strength training is very, very important. Studies have shown that when you compare those that just do cardiovascular activity, that just run on the treadmill and only do cardio-based activities, and you compare it to people who do both strength training and cardio, those that do a combination of strength and cardio exercises almost in every case will be more successful. Of course, assuming that they've addressed their food intake and keep themselves motivated and consistent. So strength training is very important. And a major reason for that is because by building muscle and getting stronger, our bodies will actually build or burn more calories at rest. So we just talked about the BMR, our base metabolic rate, just how many calories our bodies just kind of naturally burn. If we were to say, I would never want you to do this, but say you were going to sit on the couch, how many calories your body would burn at rest? If I have more muscle from strength training for a consistent period of time, I'll actually have a higher BMR. I may burn 200 to 300 calories more than somebody who doesn't have as much muscle mass as I do. So the strength training can really make a huge difference in the long run in contributing to that calorie deficit. And then one more way that we can help guide us to a nice calorie deficit of 500 to 1,000 per day is increasing our NEAT. It's an acronym, NEAT. NEAT stands for non-exercise activity thermogenesis, and that's basically doing things like walking that aren't really in the gym, but just maybe you park your car further away and you take you walk a little bit further to the grocery store, or just little activities you do, getting up and stretching when you're in the office, and rather than sitting in your chair for the full 5-6 hours, just getting up and walking around, but accumulating activity that isn't necessarily exercise, and that's just the energy expenditure associated with non-exercise activities. So by increasing those little things throughout the week, it can really contribute toward a higher calorie burn throughout the week. So how can we add to that? We can just go for walks, we can walk the dog, we can get up and stretch from time to time, we can park our car a little bit farther away. There's many ways that we can do this. So don't always just think about what you're doing in the gym. Think about how you can add to your calorie expenditure outside the gym as well. Accumulating a higher weekly total volume of work. So we'll leave it at that for exercise. So there it is. We got exercise, we have nutrition, and our mindset, and we're always just trying to think about how we can improve in those 3 areas. And that's going to lead us to success in the long term. So I hope that this has been informative for you guys, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in for this great exercise video, and I hope you enjoyed the content as much as I did. If you look below in the description box, you'll notice there's a link. And when you click on that link, it's going to take you to another page where you'll enter your email address. When you enter your email address, I'll give you your first week of workouts so you can take your fitness to the next level. So just go down the box below, click the link in the description box, it'll take you to that next page, and enter your email address. Also, when you look below, there's a subscribe button. When you click the subscribe button, you'll see a little bell. You want to click that little bell, and it'll keep you alerted when I come up with great content that you've asked for to keep your fitness and your health going to the next level. Also, make sure you go below in the comments section, leave any comments, questions, concerns, things that you want us to create for you. I'll be happy to produce that for you. Make it a great day.